like to freeze forever, and I hesitate to want to redo anything because I think the way that things, everything happens for a reason. But yeah, there are definitely some things I wish I remembered a little bit better. The birth of my first son was a little bit, and the birth of my third son was a little scary too. So you always wish to go back to those moments and want to relive them. But it's funny how the human brain works. So those would be my 2 moments.
And Shannen?
But I didn't have that power.
It's a pity.
Yeah, I just got to throw things around.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, there's the personal moments in your life that you would want to, freeze, and then there's sort of moments in the world that you want to freeze. Personal moment is definitely, time with my dad, because I didn't have enough. And with the world, I mean, you take your pick. Again, this all goes back to what I was saying earlier about the world that we live in, and there's no balance, and it's unstable. People are cruel and mean and abusing each other, and everything in the world they're abusing. And I think there's moments that you just want to freeze and stop and be like, it's enough. It's enough. And, children should not be scared to go to school because they don't know who's going to show up at that school later. I think for me, just stopping whatever's happening right now, freezing this, and trying to get past it, because it seems to be not getting better and only getting worse, would be kind of the world moment that I would freeze and assess and try to fix.
Thank you. And if I may make a compliment, perhaps you freezed time for yourself because you still look like in the TV shows 15 years ago.
Oh, come on.
No, it's true. Thank you.
Hi. First of all, I want you to know that you've been my 2 heroes for 9 or 10 years since I'm 18, and I thank you a lot for that. You taught me a lot. And my question is, I've always wondered, since you've been on screen and stage for so long, since you were like, I think 6, 7, or 8, what impact has it had on your lives, like being on stage so long?
Oh, we're definitely not normal. No, I think we're fairly normal human beings. I mean, it's a job above, I think, especially since we've been doing it since we were little, it's just a job. And it's a job that we try to do well, and we give it 100% every single day that we can. And I think it's a tough business to sort of, as I said before, grow old in. So you have to sort of reassess and step back and try and figure out how to do other things in this business, which is always interesting. So whether you produce something or write something or direct something or then create something completely different, it can be difficult because you never there's no stability, there's no job security really. And I mean, having a show that's as long running as Charmed was is really, really rare. And we're constantly aware of that. So we're constantly working probably more than we should on a daily basis to try and come up with new ways and creative ways to be in the business.
8 years must have been tough. Yeah.
It was a long time.
Thank you.
She answered it.
Yeah.
She did it.
Hello. We just heard which fandoms you like, so I wanted to ask, what do you think about science fiction since we are here at FedCon? Have you seen the old Star Wars movies, Star Trek movies?
Yeah, I definitely did when I was little. Yeah.
My brother used to dress up as Darth Vader. Like literally, he had the mask and the cape, and he would talk through the mask and breathe heavily and scare me to death, and
Cool, me too.
You are my son, Luke. Of course. Yeah. Star Wars, and absolutely. I grew up in Star Wars. Again, my brother had all the little dolls, and I think he still does, actually.
How old is he now?
He's 47.
The other guy from Rancho, from the Rancho, he got more than your brother. The guy was always, so it's also here from Rancho, Obi-Wan. He got more than your brother.
He does?
Yeah.
Is that possible? How many does he have?
I think he got a Guinness record breaking over 3,000 or even more. But pieces of ask him.
Well, I think it's your turn now, too. I think
Okay, thank you. No, something completely different. I've seen that there are two pilots for Charmed in which they changed two roles. One is your sister and one is your lover, yes. And which thing at least, the one who played the police officer in the pilot, and because my opinion, I like the first pilot better with the car that was not picked up. What is your opinion?
Oh, you gave us a really good question.
Yeah, we were very proud of the first pilot, obviously. And, you know, when it changed a little bit. But, you know, we're always at sort of the network's sort of mercy when, you know, they make changes and they have what they think they want to do. And the original actress, she actually decided that she wanted to do something, well, she didn't want to do the show for actually religious reasons, believe it or not. She was part of a church that decided they didn't like her doing a show about witches. So she had quite the moral dilemma with it, and she decided not to do it. So we had to replace her.
It was a totally different show, for the most part. There was, I think, Lori Rom was the girl who played Phoebe originally, and I think there was something. She was kind of a very, I think, serious, deep girl to begin with, and I think that she brought that into the character, whereas I think Alyssa brought a much more like light-hearted thing to the character. So it was two different shows. One was the original pilot was much darker, much more serious. You know, you could see that, you know, just in the fighting of demons and saying the spells, that there was something a little bit more dark and maybe grounded to it. I don't think you can say either one is necessarily better than the other, just incredibly different. I mean, obviously the second one worked because it was on for 8 years.
We have last question, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Can I pick this one down here? This one. There we go. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
First I want to say it means so much to me that you're here in Germany, Lobby. You've been my inspiration, my role model since forever, and I just want to thank you so much.
I like those kind of questions. Thank you.
My question is, I know that you both have been friends long before Charm started, and I wanted to know, was it hard for you to act serious together, or was it fun?
At times.
It still is.
Yeah, I mean, I think I warned you. If we worked together, it wasn't going to be easy. And we had moments and hours where you work with anybody long enough and they're going to get on your nerves. And we had moments where we'd have to be serious or have to be funny, and it would be hard. But just like anybody else that you work with, there were definitely some moments we had to be serious that were hard, because a lot of the times, which you've seen only a small percentage from the Charm gag reels, do we end up either breaking something, falling, laughing, not able to do it. I mean, it's a really small percentage of what you guys have seen, because there were many, many hours and scenes where we would get in trouble because we were messing around so much. Like, directors got mad that we couldn't keep it together at times, because it was a show to make, and there was a lot of silly stuff going on, and a lot of mishaps. We had a lot of misfires.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.